Good morning. Welcome to the Mayor's Weekly, the first in calendar year 2024. Joining me today is Kathy Shambliss, and we're going to talk just kind of randomly about some different things in the city. But we talk about fiscal years, and that's the time frame that municipalities operate on. But calendar year is what most people work through, and so we've talked internally about 2023. It has proven to be a good year, has it not, Kathy? And
great year.
Kathy, you were sharing with me, and you've heard us say this many times here on the Mayor's Weekly, that from a financial perspective, the lifeblood of the city is sales tax revenue.
It is.
And Kathy, I hear you say, and we know this, it's probably 60% of our revenue comes from sales tax revenue, and we watch that with an eagle eye to see if we see trends developing that we need to react to, both positive and negative. And Kathy, you shared with me that looking at December, that's a key month. You have Christmas and a lot of spending, and it's a pretty good indicator of what's going on in your local economy. And that worked out well for the city this year.
It did. About a 5% increase over last December receipts, and so I was glad to see that. October and November was not quite that much, more like 2 and 3%. So it was good to see that 5%.
Well, I know back when we were talking about something a year or so ago, we drew, I think, a little critique about inflation, and certainly you can say, well, nothing really happened there. Inflation was a contributor to the 5% growth, and certainly that's a part of it. But the conversation Kathy and I had just days ago is inflation can turn consumption in a different direction, and you've seen that.
I absolutely have.
In 10 years. So to have what I would venture to say is to have sales revenues in our city remain constant or maybe improve a little bit speaks well for what lies ahead in 2024. I hope that is the case. But and it's we work every day to monitor sales tax revenues, and if there are trends, like I said, positive or negative, that we need to react to, then we are timely in our efforts and can make decisions that we hope are beneficial to the city. Sure. The first thing I want to share with you, and this information came to me just yesterday afternoon. We've mentioned the highway project on what we'll call 9th Avenue 195, the bridge just north of Sun Supermarket. That project is about to get underway, and let me share with you the message that came to me from the Alabama Department of Transportation. They will begin putting up advanced notice signage regarding the bridge work on January the 10th. January 17th, they will close the bridge. Again, January 17th, that bridge will close, and on January 18th, they will close the sections off of Highway 118. The demolition will start, weather permitting, following the 18th. And now, what we've been told by the Alabama Department of Transportation, that this could be as much as an 18-month project, Kathy. And so certainly it's going to bring inconveniences, but when the product is finished, that is going to be a much better access point to downtown Jasper off of Highway 118, and has served us well for many, many, many years, and I'm excited about that. And I travel that way every day on my way to work, and I see the congestion and the challenges that trucks have trying to go north or coming to the south and trying to get on Highway 118. That should fix that. We also know that there'll be some work take place as you travel just north of there, where 5 and 195 come together. If you traveled in that area recently, you've seen utility work there. That ties to the work that's going on there. And that work will run to some degree in tandem with the bridge work. So, like I said, we ask for your patience, and when we get finished, I think you'll be pleased with what you see. Now, we talk about all sorts of different projects that are committed to Jasper, and none of them ever happen quite as fast as we'd like for them to happen, but that's just the nature of the game. Kathy, share with the group what you know about Rural King.
So the latest on Rural King, Mayors, over the holidays, we know that they purchased the property, finally got the property purchased at the mall, and we were able to provide them with the approved incentive that the council provided, and so those funds have been transferred to Rural King, and we have received a performance bond to ensure that what they say they're going to do at the Jasper Mall location, that they do accomplish that, or we...
Kathy, excuse me for interrupting. Sure. It's so important. Early on in our negotiations with Rural King and what they were looking for, that it would not have been acceptable on the part of the city to provide those funds without what we call a clawback or provide insulation to the city. So we paid the initial incentive. We have a performance bond that if that does not become a reality, then we step out and recoup our money 100 cents on the dollar, don't we, Kathy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so we do have that performance bond in hand and fully executed. So everything is on go for that project, and we're looking forward to that starting soon.
And Kathy, one of the things that we should note as well is the agreement that we entered into with Rural King said that they would be operational in the third quarter of 2024, and they did not change that. What we're told is that what has to be done to the old Kmart facility to make it functional for a Rural King facility is not as extensive as they had originally thought. So, matter of fact, I drove by there this morning to see if I could see any activity, and that's not happened, but I expect that any day. Now, Kathy, moving on to another project that's taken a little time, but free Wi-Fi downtown Jasper, and I know we've had meetings about that recently, and give us an update on that.
Yes, sir. We actually have a meeting today with Alabama Power and the team that is putting in the public Wi-Fi. The people will begin to see some activity, the public will, on this as we are getting those access points ready for the public Wi-Fi. We'll have about 54 access points. And Mayor, it's not just really for the downtown area. They have included coverage for Jasper Housing Authority, which we feel is very important for the people in that area to be able to come outside and access our Wi-Fi.
And Kathy, you have a very good technology background, and I mean, most folks, but I think it wouldn't hurt when we talk about access, and we could talk the rest of the day about that. But what are some of the benefits that are there for people to access? I know our young people.
Well, it's right. So, if you've got your cell phone out, you can scroll through and you'll find the ability to access a public Wi-Fi, and that's not using up minutes that you may pay for, or even some people that don't even have a data package on their telephones or their computers. So they'll be able to access a internet and do their shopping or their schoolwork without actually having to have a data plan. And I think that's important for a lot of people that are maybe find themselves with plans that are low, or even people who don't have internet at their homes. There's still people who don't have access.
What about young people and their schoolwork, Kathy?
Actually, young people, I think, can benefit from it. We are covering the middle school area so that if someone needs to do some schoolwork, they can do it right there at the middle school and get on our public Wi-Fi. We believe the speed will be good enough for them to connect and do what work they need to do. We can connect up to 250 devices, maybe even more than that. So this should be a very nice project, program for those that are in need of additional internet or faster speed. Mayor, that's a part of it as well. Some internet speeds are just not effective for people who are trying to do schoolwork or research type activities.
Kathy, that is becoming a reality as a result of a $1.6 million grant through the Department of Labor that will pay for all of the equipment, and I think some of that equipment may be already here or on its way here. And I know Alabama Power Company has been doing some work here just south of City Hall, $1.6 million grant's pretty sizable. When you start looking around, you don't see that very often. But that's not the end of it. You don't put it, the city being able to pay the fee for access is a piece of it. And if we couldn't do that, then this couldn't happen, could it?
That's right. I mean, this is not, the service itself is not free to the city. The equipment has been through the grant, and all the technical things that had to take place to get it really working. All that has been done with Alabama Power and a grant. But the city of Jasper will be paying for the power that it uses as well as the service providers' fees.
Right. Good.
And that's an investment.
Just another step into the 21st century,
Right.
And where we had hoped to be for some time. And we thank Alabama Power Company for their assistance as we move through this. And certainly there's a business interest on the part of the Alabama Power Company. But had it been left to the city to pay $1.6 million to buy this equipment, it probably would not have happened.
Correct.
Right. Now, Kathy, special project, an update on City Hall.
City Hall, they are definitely making progress. You can drive by and see that. We've asked the contractor for a projection on when he will be finished. We know certainly he's not going to meet the February deadline that was in the contract. He is working with the providers of the materials that we still need to complete the project. So hopefully we'll have a completion date provided by him soon. But definitely progress is being made. The last time I talked with the contractor, he had indicated we should begin to see the walls go up inside the facility because they have completed the duct work for the heating and cooling system.
So, at this point, a best guess, I would say, be late April. But that's my best guess, and please don't hold me to that, because it is nothing more than a guess. Kathy, we've talked about this too. Major undertaking, I don't think it's ever happened in this city, whatever, to pick this city hall operation up and move it. And work is currently underway and building the plan to make that. You know, we can't go out of business at City Hall. You got to stay in business, and to get, even though it's only a couple of blocks away, you still got to relocate, haven't you?
Yeah, it will be quite a task, and we'll probably do it in stages, but we are developing that plan. The biggest thing is getting all of our computers and servers and equipment were up and running in a different location.
Well, Kathy, I know maybe 2 weeks back, at the most, pretty good indicator that we're getting close. The architect came to talk about furnishings
Yes,
for the
sir.
facility, so
Yes,
that's a pretty good indication that they can start to see the end.
I think so, you know, and we need about a 2-month lead time for the order of the furnishings for the lobby area, and a few other areas that we'll put new furnishings in.
Okay. Now, another project that we've talked about, Starbucks, and people ask me, and rightfully so, we haven't seen any activity out there. And the last day of any month, the first working day of a new month, I get a report from our planning department on every building permit that has been issued, location, type of project, investment, that sort of thing. And that report came to me just a few days ago. We have issued the building permit for Starbucks. I can tell you that permit cost several $1,000s. We know that they bought a very expensive piece of land. They bought their building permit, so we expect to see activity there soon. I don't believe we bought the land and bought the building permit was not going to become a reality.
No,
huh?
sir.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. Then the other two entities, Whataburger, Mavis Tire, should follow shortly thereafter. Sportsplex, let me tell you, work continues to go on. That's not something that everybody sees. We've shared with you the first site that we owned proved to be unacceptable due to the cost of preparing a site for the Sportsplex. We're now looking at another site. There may be some challenges there. We hope to learn the extent of those challenges this week. As a matter of fact, we'll have a meeting this week to explore other possibilities. So don't want anybody to think that that's gone away. It is not. And Kathy, we, as you can attest, the money that we raised for that is invested, and there's 100% of it there. And
Yes.
so, you know, and I'm not predicting this, but if the world came to an end today, we could take that money and pay on our, and Dad just couldn't, because we have
Certainly.
all the money.
We do, and we're earning as much interest as we were paying on the
So
debt. So
if
it's
we're
just-
losing any ground, it's due to inflation.
That's basically
that's
it.
it. So, and we've heard some real horror stories of municipalities and sportsplexes buying properties or whatever that does not work out, and those sort of things don't have a reverse in them. You're just stuck. So our folks have done a good job of managing this to where we're at today, and I'm convinced that whatever we work through, that a good decision will be made, a decision that's in the best interest of this city. That's it. Kathy, let's wrap up with, as we move into calendar year 2024, and there's not a reason for people probably to even think about this, but it is important. The magnitude of this city operation, and you're close to it every day. I'm close to it every day, and it's bigger than you might think. And when you relate it to other entities in the city, it's pretty big, Kathy. We probably 200 employees or so, maybe a $36 million budget. When you take those two things stand alone, you have to look around for a little bit to find folks that top that. And I mean, that 200 employees now, $36 million. That's a lot. Kathy, your thoughts on that, and then a question or two that you know the answer and I know the answer to, but it is a sizable operation.
Well, it is, and it's about 36 million, and that's in the general fund, and that's not including all the $1 million grant projects that we're working with and completing. So big impact really on our economy locally, just what we do.
Yeah.
But also the special funds that are coming in from grants and the special projects that we do are also impacting all of that. But 200 employees, it's a lot of employees. I've been doing this a long time, and I guess I don't think about it, but this is a big operation, and we do it really with not as many people as a lot of people would think that it would take to manage.
Well, yeah, I think the perception would be, and it would be a logical perception, well, I saw a crew of city workers out here, but that doesn't give you the big picture. Fire department, police department,
Right.
public work, it goes library, it goes on and on and on and on. Kathy, off the top of your head, what do we pour into payroll in the course of a year to year?
Well, about 8.8 million without benefits, and if you add our benefits in there, it'd be about another 3 million or so. So, we're around 12.5 million.
Yeah. Well, now, Kathy, you touched on something that leads me to my last question. You've been doing this a long time. Our employees have a full complement of benefits: vacation, sick leave, retirement, life insurance, health insurance. It goes on and on and on and on. Over the last few years, we've been in some very complex financial transactions. We've made some significant investments for this city that are doing quite well. Now, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you, what is it important if you were going to run an operation with a $36 million budget, 200 employees, to have some understanding of accounting, finance, and human resource management? Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's critical now. There's things constantly changing too within laws that change that even complicate what we do here, and just a good understanding of accounting, of financial activities, and is just going to have that in this operation at this point.
And Kathy, you don't get that by osmosis or you don't get that by sitting on the sideline or I think I learned it or maybe I know it, but you look at human resource management and all the things that and back during the pandemic, the things that we went through, and looking at Family Medical Leave Act and other things, and then when you look in these financial transactions, and we've done quite well with those and brought some really big premiums to the city, but understanding how you do that, if you don't understand that, then you just have to take it, face what somebody tells you.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so, as a 37-year tenure at having an understanding of those things, as you say, is critically important to the successful operation of the city.
Yes, sir.
Right, good. Thank you for being with us. We will look forward to being with you next week. If we have brought about questions or caused questions to bubble up, we always stand ready to hear from you, and we'll be busy about getting you an answer. But we're looking forward to a great 2024 for the city of Jasper, and we're committed, and we have no reason to believe that will not be the outcome.